So every now and then, the Japanese government and different city governments within the country will actually have auctions, believe it or not. Now, it might sound a bit unique, maybe a bit odd, but it's actually not odd at all. We do that here in the US as well. This is kind of common practice if there's like an overstock of items for the police, or just things they don't need, like they've auctioned off like old squad cars and stuff like that. And they can even auction off like stolen items, like seized items that they just don't need. Well, in Japan, there was actually just an online listing for an auction, and they were listing off a Nintendo DS Lite. Sounds pretty harmless. Don't know why they had a DS Lite in the first place. Maybe it was just in the break room of the old police office, or maybe it just happened to be an item that they seized from somebody who, you know, maybe had a much larger drug ring or something like that. I don't know. We don't have a backstory, but what actually came out is that the DS in this listing, it came with like 4 different cartridges. So, okay, you have 4 different games, cool. Well, not really. The thing is, 2 of those cartridges, it looks like, were flash carts, which are very common for pirated games. The Japanese government may have actually been auctioning off a pirated console or flash carts for the DS that may have definitely had some pirated games in it. Now, in this story, I see that they are referring to the Tottori Prefecture government. Now, what this is actually just a city called Tottori in Japan. Well, it's kind of 2 things. There's a big city, but then there's also like an actual region called Tottori, and basically that is it right there. The little red part at the bottom there, that is what Tottori is. So it was that region's government. So we see here from Automaton, it says illegal Nintendo DS and pirated game bundle mistakenly put up for auction by Japanese prefectural government. So they say the state auctions are a way for local governments to sell off seized goods. And yeah, I have to say, it doesn't really say if this was a seized good, but I'm assuming that, this wasn't just the break room DS that they had for so many years. I'm sure this was just a random seized good that they just wanted to get some money for. So it says the Tottori Prefecture local government mistakenly put an illegal Nintendo DS set for sale via official auction for an estimated price of 1,000 Japanese yen, or just about $6 or $7 US. Now it says what looked like a harmless second-hand console bundle is actually a DS that uses modified flash cartridges to play copied games. The listing gained significant attention from Japanese gamers on X before being taken down from the site. So I think this really gained some traction about a week ago when this post was made on X. The person said that the Tottori Prefecture government probably didn't know anything about it. And they had posted this picture right here, which is basically the actual listing from the government's website. Kind of just looks like something you'd see on like eBay, just like a standard used bundle. Everything looks cool. It's a DS, it's a case, it's the stylus, and it's 4 games. Cool, no biggie. I see new Super Mario Bros. Right there. Had a lot of memories playing that. But yeah, if we really zoom in on those 4 cartridges, you can see so I don't know what that is on the right, by the way. That I don't think was ever mentioned by anybody covering this. That might have been something interesting, or maybe that is just a game and I'm just not really seeing it right. But the 2 on the left there, R4 and AceKard 2, those are commonly, I believe, flash carts. I think those are pretty well-known flash carts too. So it says, while the new Super Mario Bros. Cartridge in the image above is the real deal, the R4 and AceKard 2 flash cartridges on the left likely store pirated games. And it says the auction listing is described as a bundle which includes 3 games. I do find that interesting too, because maybe they were considering Super Mario Bros. And then those other 2 flash carts as 3 games in total. So again, what that thing was on the right, that like 4th cartridge, I really don't know. Now they say this is in a similar fashion to how the MIG Switch flash carts are used to store multiple Nintendo Switch titles onto a single micro SD card. So yeah, the important thing to remember with these flash cartridges is that they are not technically illegal. They're just a cartridge with just storage capabilities on it. That's it. Think of it like a flash drive or like a USB stick. I mean, none of those things are illegal, but if you had like pirated games on that, then yeah, the stuff in it is definitely illegal. And that is, I guess, kind of what's most commonly used for these cartridges. You can use them for just kind of legitimate stuff, like homebrew tools and other stuff that's like way beyond my brain, my stupid brain. I don't know how any of that stuff works, but yeah, the main thing I think that people use it for is pirated stuff. The original poster on X did also speculate that maybe these cartridges do have some data that is probably still on it, maybe unbeknownst to the Japanese government that did post this. But yeah, speaking of them posting it, it is now completely delisted. Yeah, for those of you who are in Japan who wanted to buy this, sorry, you can't. It has been completely delisted. So yeah, they must have seen that, you know, this was raising some red flags. People were talking about it. I do want to point this out too. The original poster on X did talk about these auctions. So it says government auctions are not only for selling items owned by the prefecture, but also serve as an auction site for selling the personal belongings of tax delinquents. So it is highly likely that they are seized items belonging to someone. Yeah, that's what's kind of funny about this whole thing. Like, it's unlikely, like I said, that this is just, you know, a used bundle that was just used by the cops in their free time. But it's also probably unlikely that it's like the extreme opposite. Like, this was the result of like a legitimate, like, a pirated game, like, bust. Some of that does happen every now and then in Japan. And yeah, I'm sure this is not the case, obviously, because they wouldn't want to resell those items. So that original poster on X Taki, they said that this could just be somebody who, you know, what was a tax evader or something like that, like they were delinquent with their taxes, or just something like that, and then this is just something that got seized along the maybe the raid or something that happened. So, I mean, if this person who owned this, I mean, if they are right now behind bars, I mean, if it's actually discovered now that this had pirated stuff on it, will they try to, like, press this person with, like, more charges for having pirated games? I really don't know, but that would be just a very interesting turn of events. In any case, quite an interesting scenario that the Japanese government themselves, probably very much unknowingly, was trying to sell DS flash cartridges that may have had pirated content on it.